remembering that life. Or, and he now persists in haunting the building generally, sitting upon the banisters by day and sleeping in the entry by night. Which do you prefer?
I would prefer not to.
I'm much more interested in stories and poems that have some bearing on how we live and how we conduct ourselves and how we work out the consequences of our actions. I need your input in order to write this story from your perspective. This will help give reason to your conduct and actions and makes a much more riveting story.
I would prefer not to.
That's not an answer. It's okay, but even if it wasn't okay, what am I supposed to do? This is your story, I'm just the writer.
But I'm just a dead letter.
What do you mean by that?
I don't have a past or a future. Dead letters can't be returned nor delivered. I am stuck in the present, and there's no purpose for me elsewhere.
Well, you must have had some goal or purpose previously. You know, for a long time, I wanted to do the kind of work my dad did. He was going to ask his foreman at the mill to put me on after I graduated. So I worked at the mill for about 6 months. But I hated the work and knew from the first day I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. My goal was to find my passion. Don't you have anyone who pushed you in a direction that you didn't want?
People in my life have wanted me to do their work, but I preferred not to. It wasn't for me. These types of people try to understand me. They assume that I'm okay with taking on their responsibilities, but they don't understand me. They can't understand me. I am my own person, so how can someone that isn't me know me? We can believe that we understand someone, but we can't really. We will never truly know who someone is. We think we can, but we can't.
Well then, why did you become a copyist, since that's exactly what their job entails? A copyist imitates another's work. They copy works already written. They take on responsibilities of others. If that isn't you, then what is? What do you want? What do you prefer?
I prefer not to prefer to do anything, especially that requires change. But being a copyist at this office gave me a place to stay, and even food. The office became my home in that sense. I had nowhere else to go. No family. I'm a dead letter, remember?
Yes, I remember. And what about the people you work with? They didn't seem appreciative of your occupation in the office. Didn't what nippers and turkeys say or do affect your emotions?
It had no bearing on me. They were simply more people passing through my life. Nippers and turkey were people who had fallen into the trap of doing others' work. Nippers and turkey found their calling at the office. They may be misfits too, but the difference is I'm not a misfit that tries to please everyone.
You seemed obtrusive on others' lives and their work, yet you didn't move. You stayed at the office, you stared at that brick wall, and the new occupants considered you creepy the way you stayed and sat on the banisters, just staring into space.
I knew of nothing else. They should have just carried on. That wall that I stare at, the people I've worked with saw resemblance. That's not what they should have compared me to. They simply didn't know how to react to my actions. They shouldn't have been concerned with the way I live my life.
But are you really living if you prefer not to do anything at all? In our society, taking risks, accomplishing hard work, and loving, having relationships, that is what life is. And it's not always easy, but that is how you should live.
We all will die someday, but I'm not going to die living someone else's life.
But I'm not going to die living someone else's life. That's the way to end the story.